Yes, hello, my name is Franc ois Vermaut. I was a former digital transformation manager at Hool. Hool is a very well-known company in Belgium. It's a leading manufacturer of buses, touring coaches and industrial vehicles. At Hool we had a lot of different products. We had more than 100 vehicle types, we had more than 4,000 different options. The philosophy at Hool as well was to produce vehicles custom for the customers. So a lot of engineering to order processes. At a certain point of time we decided that it was not sustainable anymore. It had a huge impact on our margins, and so we decided that we had to give the impression to the customer that it was custom, but at the end it was just a huge portfolio of options that we already knew, but that we rationally managed in a very structured way. So for the selection process, I first started of course with a market research. I identified the leading suppliers of CPQ solutions. Then I took several contacts. I organized several short meetings with these different suppliers in order to understand what they were doing, what they were suggesting. And then I came to a short list of 5 suppliers. For these 5 suppliers, I organized a presentation and a demonstration. I sent to all suppliers exactly the same scenarios that we wanted them to demonstrate, exactly the same data set. And I organized this different demonstration with a multidisciplinary team inside Hool. In the team were people from sales department because they will have to use the tool. I also invited people from the product management team because of course they manage the products and the options. And I also invited people from engineering and from manufacturing. I really wanted a multidisciplinary team because I wanted everybody to adopt the solution, the selected solution. Then of course I asked for the 5 suppliers for an offer. And then we came together, we decided, we voted, and we came to the conclusion, okay, Merkato is indeed the solution that we prefer. The selection process took 4 months. It started in February 23 and it ended in May 23. For us it was very important to find a CPQ solution that could cope with the complexity of our products. We had a lot of options, a lot of combination of options, very complex products. So we really needed a solution that could work in a modular way. We couldn't allow ourselves to work at the lowest level, at the level of the combination of the options and the products, because it explodes. It's not even exponential, it's combinatory. So we had to work at a high level, at the level of the properties, so the characteristics that we find between all the different options, and to define rules at the level of these characteristics. So just with that, the selection of CPQ solution was seriously reduced because not all CPQ solutions can do that. Another important element of the CPQ solution was the ease of use. Our sales colleagues really needed a solution that was fast, that was easy to use, that really abstracted the complexity of the vehicles. And sometimes I was saying that could allow a new sales that starts in our organization to be able to sell a very complex product after 3 weeks being in the company. And then on the technical side, we really wanted to find a solution that was open. We really had to integrate this solution inside the complete application landscape. So the openness and the availability, for example, of APIs was also a very important aspect. At the end of the selection process, it was very clear that Merkato had the best ratio between functional coverage and cost. It really was covering all functional needs that we had, and it had a very competitive cost for our organization. The next element as well was the flexibility of the tool. The reactivity of the Merkato team. What we saw as well during the implementation is that the Merkato team was evolving the product based on the feedback that we were giving them. And not just evolving the product for us, but evolving the standard product. So several requirements that we had and that we identified during the project, during the implementation project, were really implemented by the team and added to the standard product for us, but also for all customers of Merkato. On a functional level, the selection of the solution showed us that the Merkato solution is actually a CPQ toolkit. It's not a final solution in the sense that you can use it immediately. It's a toolkit that you first have, of course, to configure, to adapt to your needs. But that's again the best value that they can offer, because you make a CPQ that's really relevant for your business. So on the functionality level, this flexibility, this toolkit was a very important aspect. Merkato is also a very strong front-end capabilities. What I mean by that is that you can really configure without any coding. You don't need a developer or something. You can configure in a very flexible way the right front end for your sales teams. So showing the right elements, showing the right fields, showing the right widgets for the right configuration options. On a more advanced functional level, Merkato comes also with a set of very interesting functionalities. Everything around the analysis of the different configurations that you have. You can compare the different configurations, you can find similarities, you can even analyze the flow inside the configurator to identify bottlenecks, to see, for example, where the sales have difficulties. And so, of course, you can use that to refine and to improve your configurator. So very strong analytic tools and possibilities in the application itself. For manufacturing companies in Belgium and more globally in Europe, it's very difficult to compete. To compete, for example, compared to the Far East companies. So companies in Europe really need to specialize and deliver customized products, personalized products to their customers. This comes, of course, with a price, because we fall most of the time in engineering to order, and it has an impact, of course, on the margin, and it has an impact on the final sell price, which by itself also reduces the market. So for me, the idea there is that the company gives the impression to the customer that they build and they deliver a customized product, a personalized product, but at the end is just a huge portfolio with a lot of different options that are already known, that are already defined, and that can be combined in a very flexible way. Other triggers for companies looking for CPQ is, of course, the possibility to send offers and quotes to customers much faster. So it helps, of course, sending much more quotes at the end to customers. But at the same time, to make sure that the quotes that are sent to customers are accurate. It's very important, definitely for manufacturing of customized and personalized products, that from the beginning, when the customer signs, the quote is correct and accurate, and that it is effectively what we will deliver to the customer at the end of the production. Any change that can occur during the production is an inefficiency in the production, so is a loss of margin. A couple of advices that I would give to a company looking for a CPQ solution are first, make sure that your strategy and your sales strategy is well defined and well understood by the whole organization. That's the starting point. If your sales strategy is not well defined, you can find any kind of CPQ tool, it will always be a failure. So that's the first thing. Your sales strategy must be very clear. A second advice I would give as well is involve as many colleagues as possible in the selection project. Make sure that, of course, your salespeople are involved, but also your product managers, also engineering, and also manufacturing, because the CPQ solution has an impact on the whole chain. Last advice that I would give, don't think too much, just do it.